Hello and welcome to another Wraggys Beers, Wines and Spirits video. So today, going back to the Let's Talk series, and if there's something recently that's, and in the last year, that's really niggled a lot of people who, like me, in their hobby review beers, is the amount of, shall we call it, bad supermarket beers that are coming out. Either blatant clones, bad clones, or just blatantly bad beer. Now, obviously, we've all been through the pandemic, so a lot of people, if they've never had craft beer before, they're most likely going to go to a supermarket first. And the main two culprits here are certainly Aldi and Home Bargains. Without a shadow of a doubt, Aldi, with their plum porter knockoff that you couldn't taste any plum, and it was using Titanic Brewery's branding, which was, it was that blatant a rip-off. And then you've also got the Twice as Nice and others as well. I mean, there's been quite a few from Aldi. And let's talk about Home Bargains and their recent, both their tap room series of beers and their microbrew series of beers. And again, apart from maybe one of the tap room beers, and both microbrew beers were just very subpar. It's a worrying thing that people who don't really know craft beers and that, and go to the supermarket and yeah, I like traditional beers. What's these craft beers? And they say, yeah, there's some craft beers in Aldi and Home Bargains. And do you want me to pick them up? Yeah, if it's craft beer, it's going to be good, isn't it? You know, it sounds good. They put a lot of effort into the beer. Should really hit the spot. They get them home, and obviously they don't hit the spot. And in fact, Twice as Nice was gut-wrenchingly bad. I don't know the brewery who made it, the brewery who makes any of these beers. And, I'm not slagging off those breweries, although, people will find out who makes what in this day and age. It happens. And so you've got bad beers on the market that are not a good representation of the craft beer industry. And, in some ways, I mean, Audi even had an advent calendar at Christmas with 12 of their beers in. And yeah, granted, there's a couple of decent ones in there, but the majority of them, they're not the greatest. And you only need to look at the countrywide condemnation of Twice as Nice. Whether it's any better these days at this moment in time, that's to be, don't know. But for me, the harm it does to good breweries up and down the country that are producing really decent beers, that want you to go to the pubs to drink their cask, their keg, all the stuff they're bringing out in bottles and cans. And I do think they're doing damage to the good brands out there. Obviously, Aldi and Home Bargains will be telling these people to make the beer for the minimum price possible. And they're probably making nothing on the beers, using the cheapest ingredients going. But surely, there's a thing where, do you do that, or do you just brew decent beer? It's tough. I mean, it'd be interesting to see what people's thoughts are on both sides of this equation, even from breweries as well. Do you think it does damage? Do you think it doesn't? Me personally, I think it does. So that's just my take on it. And will Audi and these change? No, I don't think they will. I think it's becoming, at least when the big other supermarkets did own brand beers, or Waitrose, some of their beers were a bit sketchy, but they just weren't great. They weren't totally woeful. I've had some of their older brands, and oof. Yeah, they want the best. So, do you agree? Do you disagree? Be interesting to see what people think. You know, it's a short video. I just want to, you know, get it out there that some of these breweries and the supermarkets in particular need to think what they're doing before they release absolute substandard beer to the market and damage the actual market there. You know, hospitality and that has had a rough old year as it is, and we really don't need. The beer industry does not need bad beer to make, you know, to for people to walk away from beers. And if you can understand what I'm saying, that's it for this little video. Didn't really need to go into any more details. If you've had those beers, you're going to know where I'm coming from. Cheers all. See you soon.